A lot of folks on both sides are on edge today about some voting problems, but I think it's been so far so good. Pete Williams, you are one of those manning this Vote Watch desk, and perhaps it's because of all the early voting, but it seems as if the glitches are, they're out there but explainable.
Fairly predictable, I'd say. The one problem where there's been a lot of complaints today is Pennsylvania. A lot of Republican voters in a scattered number of counties, perhaps as many as 5 or 6 counties, say that when they went to vote a straight Republican ticket, the machine gave them Democratic results. We've asked the Secretary of State for comment, no response yet. In one county, they say the election officials tried to get the machines to do that and couldn't. But it's hard to tell how many of these actually happened. Then, of course, you had the lawsuit today in Nevada by Donald Trump's lawyers. They were upset about early voting last Friday in 4 polling locations, predominantly Democratic in Las Vegas. They say basically people who showed up after the scheduled polling time to close and then got in line were still allowed to vote. And they say the election officials in those polling places decided early in the day to extend the time 2 more hours. The lawyers say they couldn't do that. They asked the judge to set those machines and ballots aside. The judge was not impressed. She said, well, that's what we do anyway. We always set them aside. The lawyer said, well, what we really want is the names of the county polling officials, the polling clerks, so that we can, I guess, depose them if there's a later challenge. And the judge said she didn't want to do that for fear that they would be harassed, Chuck.
Pete Williams, understandable there. Pete, thanks very much. We are 2 hours from the first poll closings, just under 2 hours, and we're about to get our first look at the exit poll, at least the national one, an idea of how the country as a whole looked. Biggest stories of the election, the divide between college-educated and non-college-educated voters.